Hello and welcome to today's book chat. So today I'm going to be talking about the novel Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. So this novel was expansive and tender. It explores the intermixing of cultures, and it follows specifically two generation storylines, although it does go back and forth, or at least explores some other storylines as well. And so in the older generation storyline, it explores I guess what stood out for me the most was the exploration of girls and women and how so often they had so little agency in their own lives. And if they wanted that agency, they had to really fight for it. Part of the novel, it takes place in, I guess, what is a fictional world of Jamaica. Not, I guess it is, but it's really interesting because throughout the novel, Wilkerson never actually mentions the country. She mentions a couple of locales that exist in real life, but I'm pretty sure throughout the whole book the word Jamaica isn't there. Half of my family actually comes from Jamaica, and so for me it was very clear that that's where it was, as I'm sure it would be clear for many readers. And so I am curious as to why she didn't, and my guess is that she wanted to embrace an experience that was larger than Jamaica, that would connect to many Caribbean countries and many people who'd been from that area in the world, and the racial politics and experiences through colonialism that would come to that. But anyways, having the novel there, it was really poignant for me, just exploring this mix of cultures and identities and pain, and how untold stories shape our lives, whether we know it or not, and all stories have multiple perspectives. That's probably one of the things that I enjoyed the most about this book. Wilkerson goes back and forth between, as I said, these different timelines. She kind of flits between past and present, person to person, writing mostly in vignettes, and even going back at one point as far as to the 1700s, where she talks about pirate ships and marauders, and then goes forward in time to runaway slaves whose role in the story was only to make known how important artifacts worked their way into the main characters' lives and became important in something that was handed down through the generations. And so in the present day story, I won't go into the details because you can always read the back cover, right? We see the struggle to know where you belong, especially as a mixed race person, as a biracial person, as a person who has a history that travels across cultures and countries, national borders. There's just so much in this book. It's absolutely perfect for book clubs, so much to talk about. And I kind of think of it in, Black Cake. If you don't know, that is a traditional Jamaican cake, Jamaican recipe, or you could even say Caribbean. I think other cultures there use it as well. But it comes from an English recipe, which is very important in this book. And the book itself is kind of like a recipe. There's all these little additions that combine to make this delicious whole. And again, I could go on and on about family relationships, about generational trauma, racial politics, and the importance of protecting and preserving the environment, all that's within this book. But I think it's best if I just let you discover that on your own. It's a book I'm sure I'll be thinking about for days and weeks to come. And if you pick it up, I imagine you will be too. So let's get the light there. Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. Also, isn't this a super cool cover? I love it. If you head over to my website, you can read a bit more details of my thoughts. You can pick up a free novella of mine if you would like to sign up for my reading list. And no matter where you're listening to this, I would love to hear your comments. If you've read it, what do you think? If you've yet to read it, are you going to? What interests you the most? So charlenecard.com, and keep reading. Oh.